and just kind of bring everyone up to speed. Got a sketchbook out here. You can't see it, but they're very well because I kind of have blocked, kind of dabbed off most of the stuff here, the graphite. But there is a sketch, and we're going to do a study tonight, which is me trying to figure out what I'm going to do next on a painting. Okay, and yeah, so need to get my iPad to behave itself. Okay, I have it up there being my reference photo. I'll show you what I'm up to in a second here. Um, what I'm planning is I'm planning to do a more complicated pastel pencil piece. I'm going to revisit the lizard, but from a different angle. And I've actually picked out 4 that I want to do. And tonight I picked out the one that appeared to me to be the easiest to sketch because I'll be honest, I was rushing. And what could I do in 15 minutes and not bungle too badly was my question. So, I'm going to share some photos with you. Hang on a sec. Let me get this cord off from here. We'll have to plug that back in. And I do apologize for the fact this is on my iPhone. The iPad is up there. And if I pull it down, then it's going to be a pain to reset it. So, we're just going to take a quick look at these on my iPhone. Okay. And eventually I will get them printed out. This one here, the lizard sitting on a rock, its tail is curled up in front, and it's got its head kind of cocked, and I don't know, I really like that one. But this isn't the one I wanted to tackle tonight. Okay. The next one, which I've already titled, is Where's Supper? Um, and I had thought seriously about doing this one. I have to do a little dinking around because I don't know if you can see it here, but there was a really harsh shadow that came across here that I'm not going to have in the painting. I sent it to Crony, who should be on shortly, and he took out some of it. We're going to try taking it into Pixelmator and doing a little bit more fixing. Um, but I do want to do this one. Whoops. Okay, and this one, it's my rock. Um, and I thought about doing this one tonight. And as a matter of fact, I started it. And then it was like, how am I going to get that head on straight without looking at like the body's on crooked? And it was eluding me. And then I had like 20 minutes, maybe tops, to sketch. And yeah, it just wasn't happening. So after about 3 or 4 minutes of trying to get this thing to do what I wanted it to, it just, yeah. So this one is the one we're going to tackle tonight. And the sketch isn't quite right. My body on my lizard is too fat. Who cares? So I have a fat lizard. Okay? And one foot is, the foot here is kind of goofy, but and the other one it's just plain missing. I got a leg, but I don't have a foot. I don't know why. I don't know what happened to the foot, but it's not there. Anyway, so, and I think I need to skinny up this tail just a smidgen. I think that I have the tail way too fat. I think that the tail actually should be more like, well, let's see, I think this leg actually comes up there. Okay, we'll just kind of, there. That's a little better. It's still not perfect. But we're going to just go with the log and the lizard. The background, I'm thought about putting this rock in. I'm not sure. I think I may just leave it out for the moment and just do a simple background. When I get around to doing... Hey there, Crony. Thank you, by the way, for fixing that reference for me. when I do get around to doing the painting, what I'm going to be doing is probably a pan pastel background. Um, I'm thinking about doing it on Lux Archival, so a sanded paper instead of the pastel matte, but we'll have to see. And I am going to be using pastel pencils, like I did with the other one. And it's going to be an all pastel piece. This one tonight is going to be a combination of watercolors and colored pencils. I have picked out a bit of a colored pencil palette already over here on this side, which is the back side of what I did the other night. We're going to use it for testing colors and just seeing if I like them or not. And we're going to start with I think getting our paints wet for starters. Okay, we're using the Yarkas, and it's been a while since I've had these out. So I'm not even sure what my colors are here. I'm just going to get some paint wet over here and just see what we have. And you know what? I think just for the fun of it, so that I know what I have and what's where, I'm just going to do a quick, I'm going to fold the lizard back, and I'm just going to quick swatch out my colors here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 12 per. Okay, and we're just going to get this, and I'm just going to swatch them down. I'm probably going to do them right here. I'm going to start with the ones closest, and then I'll come back. Okay, so I'm just going to, okay, and what do we have here? Okay, that was way too much pigment and not enough water. So I'm lifting some of that pigment so we can actually see what color that paint is. Okay. And we're just going to, okay, that's the next one. And that's the next one. It's kind of a blue. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for backgrounds. This photo was taken when Shui was, of course, obviously in her aquarium. Okay, those are all blues. Now we're going to get into the greens. Whoops. Well, maybe we're going to get into the greens. Let's see if we can pick up some pigment on this one. There we go. Okay, that one is just not giving up pigment. Okay, we'll get a dry brush and go into that. See if that helps. Maybe I had too much water on my brush. Nope. It's just not giving up pigment. Not today, anyway. Okay, well, here's the next one. It's kind of a bright green. And this one, that's a green we're going to use. Probably straight out of the thing. Okay. So we have basically three greens. One kind of a turquoise color, which we're probably not going to use, even though there's turquoise in the lizard. Any turquoise we come in with, I think we'll come in with that is just way too much water on that. That's better. Kind of an olivey green. Okay. This should be a brown. Okay, that's a brown. This should be a brown. That's a gray, I think, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll loosen that up a little bit and just see. Yeah, that's kind of a grayish brown. That might be the Van Dyke brown. And I believe that this one's black is actually neutral tint, if I remember correctly. This is one where I have neutral tint. Now we'll start at the top on the other side. And we have a really, really like wild yellow there. Another yellow. This is a color that we might use. It shows up some in our lizard. There are some browns and ochres. And here we have one that is not giving up its pigment. I'm not quite sure why this one is being stubborn. It's doing the same thing that one did. It's just not softening. And here we have kind of an orangey color. It's not something we're going to be using. Probably. Here's another orange. Okay. That's a sienna. We might use that in the wood, the piece of wood that the lizard's sitting on. Might do a kind of a light sienna wash and then come back over with some shadows. That's a nice kind of fun little color. Okay. And here we have a red, kind of a reddish brown. Okay. And here we have like a, oh, this one looks like, yeah, that's the red of a barn, which we're not painting today. I haven't used these much. I bought them off eBay. I got them for a rather reasonable price back, I think in 2019. And that's a nice Carmine. Okay. So, we have tested those colors out. And we're going to open this up. So, that's our color palette. Okay. The ones that I think I'm going to use, I'm probably going to use this one. Okay. I might use this one, neutralized some. I'm going to use this one. Probably this one. Might neutralize it some more. This one and this one, if I can get them to let go of some paint, it would be sweet. I don't know if they'll, now that they've had a chance to just stew a bit more. Because that's the color on the jawline and whatnot. Okay. And then I think we may use like this one here. And some of these other reddish browns. Okay. But we'll see. And then I'm thinking I'm probably going to use this one here and possibly this one for shadows. But we'll see on that too. The others, I don't see us using them tonight. But you never know. Okay. Now to make decisions. I can block in the lizard. Come back in with the pencil and toss in detail. Come back in afterwards and do a quick wash and see about getting this the background in and just see what I can do there. Negative paint it in. I could throw the background in now, let that dry, just do a quick wash of that, and then come back in with the lizard. At least lay in where the woodwork is, kind of a light, just a light wash, maybe neutralize it just a little bit, and we do have some highlights and some shadows. If this foot here does not turn out the way I want it to, I may plant a leaf in front of it. I haven't made up my mind on the finished painting if I'm going to put in any of the background that's in this beyond the piece of wood that he's sitting on. I do kind of want it to tell a story, so I may throw that rock in and some of the background, because in the background in the reference photo there is, hey there Stevie, there's a mirror in the background, and his image, or her image, it's a her, by the way, I had that pointed out, the fact that the spines, which I did not draw in, I figured we would lay those in with the pencils, and yeah, okay, so decisions. You know what? I think for the fun of it, I'm going to start with a really light neutral wash. Okay? And I'm going to, whoops, going to stick that in the thing. I'm going to put my glasses over here so that I can get to them. I'm going to set this board up. I'm going to take my one eraser and put it underneath the second palette here. And we're going to throw out some green, a bunch of it right there. And we're going to pick up this color right there. Okay. And I'm not going to put the palette on camera. It's just too much work in here for that. Just know what I'm doing here is just creating a nice puddle of this neutral green. I will swatch it over here. I need to make my puddle a little bigger. One of the things that I was reminded of today when I was watching a video is if you're mixing a paint, mix enough, because your chances of color matching are slim to none. So, okay. And we're just going to, yeah. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is get a smaller brush. Yeah, I'm going to get a smaller brush. Okay. Because I'm going to come up here and I'm just going to wet on dry here. And I'm leaving that area where the eye is pretty much alone, where the black portion of the eye is. Okay. We will come in and do some other later. Okay. Okay. Now I'll grab my bigger brush. I'm not particularly concerned if this wash is perfectly flat. I just want to throw down some color, outline where our lizard is going to be, and then I'll come back in and block in some other over top just to add some sunshine here and there, because this lizard is got a whole host of different colors going on. And like I said, this is just a study. Let's see what we can do. How does it work compositionally? Where are my shadows and my highlights? Where do I need to pay attention? Okay. This leg, I don't particularly want to lose that leg. So I want to kind of paint it indirectionally right now. And I'm afraid if I don't pay attention to it, I will lose the leg. Okay. And I'm not going to paint in all the colors in the feet right at the moment. I'm just going to come down here and hit this where that main foot is, because those little toes are all different colors. Okay. And this other leg over here, is in light and it is barely there. I mean, barely see it. So, okay. And do I have any clue what I'm doing? No. I really honestly don't. This is the first time I've ever actually done a study like this. I can tell that I already overworked my colors just a little, and there's no blend there. So I'm not going to worry about that too horribly much. Okay, what I am going to do is load this brush with some water and just pull out a little bit of what we've been using, and come over here and lay in this other leg, just barely. Okay. And then I'm going to bring a little of that over here. And we're going to brighten it up just a smidgen. Well, that was more than just a smidgen. Okay, what do we have? Do have a little bit darker green now. Okay. Okay. And let's see. What do I want to do? How is that one? It's a little too much. Let's see. That's a little better. Okay. I'm just going to hit this head just a little bit here where it's more that kind of that funny color right there. We're going to be coming back in, like I said, with pencil and adding detail and strengthening the colors where they need to be. Basically, right now, all I want to do is get down some basic, and we are way too thick there, but that's okay. Maybe we're painting a male instead of a female. I'm going to just blend those colors out a little. Okay. And there's going to be some detail go in here. And this little spot right here is that wonderful little spot that we had before that's kind of a hollow. And we'll be adding the, there. Now we have a base color down. And we will come back through and reinforce that and start adding in some spikes. Okay, we have a bit of a shadowy color here. So we need that. Just gonna flick a little of that over there. That funky green. Okay. And then when I want to pick up probably a little bit of this brown. Okay. And that's not quite brown enough. Alright, that looks a little more like it. Okay. Yeah, kind of a greenish brown. Okay. Because right through here we have some shadow. Okay. Oops, way too much water on that brush. And I just kind of want to blend that in. Just blend that out a little. Okay. The idea is just to remind me where my darks are. Okay, this actually needs to get lightened up through here. Lift some of that out. Okay. And then we're going to darken this in down here. Okay. Okay. And then we have some shadow down here. Alright. And there are little shadowy stripy things coming up this just a little bit. Okay, and then we're pretty much in shadow. Through there. A little bit darker right through here. Whoops. We have a little bit of a bubble that wants to. Okay. know I dried that brush off. Okay. And then we have just a little. Okay. And yep, it looks messy as all get out. That's okay. Okay, and then we're going to we're kind of just mixing right on the pencil's going to cover up a lot of this. Okay. Make our lizard green. The wrinkles and stuff we'll be adding in with the pencil, so don't fret that too much. Okay, there's not a lot more green on the lizard, not really. Maybe a little up in here. It's not as green as we think it is, that's for sure. Okay. I did mess up here. Let me see if I can lift some of that out just a little bit there. That hard edge, just lift that out there. Okay, because I don't want to lose that leg. Okay. We're going to let that dry just a little bit because I don't want to bleed back in when I do the log. and not quite sure what color I want to do that log. I'm thinking something. Let me. Whoops. That was really intelligent, Wanda. I went and got some clean water to squirt over here to make a big puddle to do log. And I managed to squirt it all over the place. Okay. Yes, I'm using my pipette to move water. Okay. Kind of want a burnt sienna watered down. So, what am I going to water that down with? I think I'm going to try watering it down with some yellow ochre, just to see what that does. I don't think this is quite the color I want. No, it's not. I added just a smidgen of red to it. I'm thinking I'm going to just leave the log pretty much just watercolor. I think we'll start with that. Okay, and we're just going to kind of just one of the questions I'm having for myself is when I move to the pastel, how much of this background do I really want to include? Do I want it to just, for the most part, be implied? Or do I want it to actually I don't know, be a major contributor? The star of the show, obviously, is our lizard. Here, I don't think I'm going to go all the way to the edge of the paper. I think I'm just going to imply that there's that it continues rather than continue it. And that's, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with the rest of the background. I'm just going to leave it alone or what? Okay, I am going to turn this way. Okay. these marks need to come out this way. And come down. There's a toe I forgot. Okay, what am I going to add? I'm going to add a little bit more of this reddish brown in there. And I'm just darkening what I already have. And I'm just going to kind of some and I overdid. This is kind of abstracty here, so it doesn't really have to be perfect. It is wood. And we just need to get in kind of the feel for it. Okay. So we're going to just kind of there. Okay. We'll let that dry and we may come back in and add some darker tones in a little bit. Actually, while I've got that red there, I'm just going to come in here and just, we've got a little bit darker tone right in here. Okay. Now we have to let it dry. Then we can come in with the pencils. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is what I did with the original one that I did eons ago. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to darken this eye. Okay. I'm using a Caran d'Ache Luminance Black. And we'll just see how that does. Darken that eye in there. Okay. And then above the eye, there's a black. Okay. And I already see a place where I'm going to need another color. The joy of having these things out where I can get to them. Here we have a raw umber. And a burnt sienna. I'm going to swatch my colors over here too in the order I use them. Okay, so that's the Luminance Black. Okay. And let's see, we're going to give a sharpen here. Whoa. We may be going to empty the sharpener. Yeah, we're going to empty the sharpener. You just see here, it's full to the point that it's going to be messing with me, so we'll just empty it there. I keep a little trash bag just for that purpose, and then we'll put this baby all back together. Okay. There we go. That one's nice and sharp. And that one's nice and sharp. I sharpened this one and the wrong one to begin with. This is my burnt umber. No, that's raw umber. Huh. This is the burnt sienna. That's not the color I was looking for. We'll set them back here. Let's see. Was this the color I was looking for? looking for. I'm going to make that eye a little more round on the bottom here. Pastels will definitely go faster. Okay, and then we have a little bit of kind of almost like a reddish color here. Okay. All right. Okay, and then we have olive right through here. Okay. And then we have the burnt umber. Right through there. Alright, what are we? We are Payne's Gray. This is a Faber-Castell. The colors that I pulled for today are Luminance and Faber-Castell. So Polychromos and Faber-Castell. And I'm just going to darken that just a smidgen around that eye. Okay. It isn't coming out quite like I was hoping it would, but that's okay. This is a study. It doesn't have to be a perfect. Okay, but we are going to come in with a little bit of a luminance white. Right there. This paper doesn't have hardly any tooth. So this could be fun. We may wind up having to do our little white dots with something else entirely, and I'm not quite sure what. Okay, let's see if I can get a white line here. I can kind of. That's not going to do what I wanted it to. Let's see if the Faber-Castell does better. Well, number one. Yeah, that's white. No. All we're getting is blue. There's not enough tooth. Well, that's something to note. Okay. Then we'll put that baby back there. Okay. We have a little bit of white right there on the end of that nose, and that's not going to show. Let's see if this one will do the trick. If we can add some sunshine with this yellow. All right. It's not doing it. Okay, you don't want to do that for me? Let's see. Where there's a will, there's a way. We will use a gel pen. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come in with a sharper pencil and we're going to add some shadow here. Where there's shadow under that eye. And out onto this nose just a little bit. Okay. We're just going to do up this face real quick. And there's a little bit of shadow right here. Okay. And it runs down in here just a little. Okay. And then I'm just going to try something here and just see if that brings in that turquoise that's there. Yes, that does. Okay, so we've got a value study going on, and we go into turquoise there. Okay, and up in here, we're turquoise. Okay. And up in here, we're kind of a muted, more olivey green. I'm just going to just see what we're doing up in here. That works. And actually, these are blending quite nicely over top of the watercolor. It's really interesting. Okay. Okay. I'll come in and deepen those shadows in just a second here. And this I messed up on. This leg is all messed up. But I'm not going to fret it too much right now, because it's bent in the photo and I totally goofed up on that angle. So and then I'm going to just reinforce these turquoise colors coming down here. Just a little bit there. And this one, actually, I brought this out for this one. Okay. All right. Now we have a really deep shadow that runs right here. And there's another one that runs right in here. Kind of a wrinkle. Okay. And this one here has some highlight on the top of it. We may have to come back in with the... Alright. And we're going to move this knee over. Okay. This knee is pretty bright. Okay. And then we're darker on this side. And we have some stripes. That are coming through here. They're darker stripes on that leg. Okay, and we're darker here on this leg. Darker there. And we're a little darker down through here. So I want to catch, where am I darker? And we're darker green in here. And this baby has some light. The skin wrinkles are fun, and when we get into the pastel, we'll be able to come in with a pastel pencil and really do that. I wish I hadn't messed up that leg. I'm going to have to work on that leg, because it is definitely a whole lot whiter than that. Where did my luminance white go? There it is. Let's just see if I can make that side just a little more highlighted there. And we have a little bit of that rusty color right there. And that, there we go. That leg is still screwed up. You know what? If I can't get the legs straight, we'll just put leaves in front of them. Because that's my solution to things like this. When they just don't want to work, you plant a tree or a leaf or something. Okay? Because, yes, life's too short to fret these things too much. We'll just round that neck out a little. And we're going to round this belly out a little. Because messed that up really decently. Okay. And let's see, the bottom of this leg. Is darker. Okay. And the top of it is lighter. Okay. And let's see, we have, there's a stripe. Oh, I messed that up, really. Oh well. There's some gold on the back here. All right. And then we have some wrinkles here. Let's pull this up. This back is all goofed up because this leg actually comes back through here a little bit more. And then this area here is in a deeper shadow. And I made the leg too fat. And this is deeper shadow down through here. And then we have a highlight there. Where'd our black go? Here's our black. We have a wrinkle right here. And we have some wrinkles here. Okay. And I goofed them all up. Alright. My lizard looks sick. Yes, my lizard looks sick. And we don't have any spikes on our lizard. We need little spikes. Okay, we need to pick up some of these pencils and get them back out of my way because they are now creating a mess for me. Okay, what do we got? We have little spikes. And I'm going to okay. We have spikes that come off here. Okay, and in here they start to have little poinkies, just kind of, and they're coming back off and laying flat. I have this crazy notion that if I can master this lizard, which is doable, that I should be able to convert my water dragon into a dragon. And I have some thoughts for how to do that. Okay. And I probably start something like that in March, maybe. What I want to do here with this one I need to finish rounding out this tail down here too. Is when I get the pastel piece done, I want to enter it in a contest. Okay, and like I said, today's is just a study. It's not meant to be picture perfect. We're not creating a photograph. That's one of the big ones to remember with all of it. Little voices to listen to. Don't be a slave to your reference. Okay, and we're just going to come in and add just a touch of this goldenrod on some of these just to indicate a little bit of light. Okay. Okay. When we finish the tree, we'll have to come back in and re-highlight those spikes. Okay. So, we need to come in here and we need to darken this underside of the tail and these stripes coming across. to come with a little bit darker green and just blend that out just a little bit there. And I'm not using any odorless mineral spirits. I'm not using any blender pens or anything else. We're just letting the color blend with the watercolors and whatnot here. Okay. Okay. And then let's see. And we'll round out that thigh a little bit. And then we'll come in with some of this golden color. And yeah. Okay. All right. These little footsies on this guy. His toes are kind of gold. Okay, and then there's one over here that I missed. Okay. And we'll get to this leg here in a second. I'm not forgetting it. Okay. And then they have little hints of kind of a rust color on the bottom. Let me ask you. And that's something that we will get straight once we come in to do the pastels. A big one is to make sure we have our values right. The rest of it will figure itself out. Our colors don't need to be perfect, but they do need to make a certain amount of sense here. I think we did that leg a little better. This one's screwed up. Okay. Colors out of my way. Payne's Gray belongs over here. Okay. There was order to all of this at one point. It's gone. Alright. One gel pen. Okay. We need to have hints of little dots down in here. Okay. And hints of dots up in here. Okay, and there's just a little bit there. And there's a touch of something right there on the eye. Okay, and then we have some little stuff there. You know what I forgot? I forgot the gold that's on the end of the snoot. That one's not going to work. Is this one going to work? Well, not exactly. Okay, well, we'll just see if we can do a little gel pen and brighten up the snoot just a little bit. Okay, and then this, let's see, we've got some little dots. Alright, I need to get my gel pen working. There we go. We've got some little dots under the eye. Okay, and then we have little dots. Right there. And where'd our wrinkle go? Right there's our wrinkle. It has a little white. There's a wrinkle with a little white. There's some little dots. Okay, this area right here is actually a little darker. There. Okay, and then we have little bits of highlight. On our wrinkles. That makes them look a little more wrinkly. Alright, we're going to put that aside, and let's see, we have a funky leg over here that's almost not visible. Almost. But we're going to make it a little more visible. Okay, we're going to and I'm not quite sure why this leg is so not visible. I do feel like it should have a little bit of shadow, like right here. And it's too fat, but that's okay. And then it has some little, like, almost like some speckles. Alright, I'm done mucking with it. At least it's there. It's not going to disappear on me now. Whoops. Alright. I missed a few wrinkles. And we should have a little bit more shadow here on this belly. Right here. May come in with just a little bit of a Payne's gray there. I really wished I hadn't messed this thing up. Oh well. That's what you get when you do a 10-minute sketch or 15-minute sketch, whatever it was. It wasn't very long, that's for sure. I did not invest a lot of time into it because I wasn't home to. But I think the composition is going to work. I think what I need to do now is darken up some of this wood just a little bit. Okay. Okay. This leg does have more shadow on it. And we're going to mute that just a little bit. I have no idea why it got so fat, but okay. There's some... Ah! Okay. I'm just darkening this red that I have. Just going to kind of sort of make this wood just a little bit more woodsy. Okay. And here we have some cast shadow there, just a little bit. Okay. And we're just going to come back in here, just a little bit of shadow. A little bit more of that reddish color. And we'll come back over and add a little bit of white highlights to those spikes here in a minute. Okay. And Wanda has a tendency to overwork everything. So what do we got? Some things that I'm not sure about. One, I'm not sure I like the white background. I think that I should have used some brighter colors here, because there are brighter colors on this lizard, and I think I should have used more of this. I don't know that this is going to help now at this point. I don't think that I can come back over with a wash. We can give it a shot. Let me see if I can make a brighter kind of, let's just see. I don't think it will. I don't think that a brighter wash is going to take. I think I just made, that might be just the color I need. Let's see. See what happens when I lift that off a little. carry that down here. Huh. Guess what? That wasn't such a bad idea. Crazy. It actually added something, I think. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, now what do I do with the background? Um, I'm just going to there. At least that looks a little more green. In the photo, it looks almost white, and that just really bothers me because it doesn't look right. But then this leg looks okay. That one's messed up. This one's kind of goofy. I'm going to have to work on my sketch, very much so. That's a given. Wanda needs to work on her sketch. And whoops, that's not going to work with those wet. Gotta let that dry. Okay. So what do we do to make the lizard pop from the background? What would be a complementary color that would go well? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Nah, it's not looking great, okay? It's looking, okay? But, let me see here. I think it's okay, okay? We do have some deeper shadows down in here. But I don't know. And I'm not 100% sold that this is the one I'm going to do. I may do one of the others. What I do know is that I should probably do a black and white, figure out what's with that leg, this one. Why is it all messed up? Why is this one messed up? That one's okay.